Satnam Yogis. I'm Tracy, and this is Yoga Union, where people unite in a quest for wellness of body, mind, and spirit. Whether you're a yoga virgin or a seasoned practitioner, Tracy's Yoga Union has a place for your mat. So let's roll those mats out and get started. Our practice will focus on the season of fall. Fall calls us to find balance in our lives. And throughout our practice, we will incorporate some balance postures within our flows to find that balance. The season of fall also invites us to move more inward. Like the season of fall itself does, it kind of closes in on itself to protect itself from the upcoming winter. And so fall invites us to do the same, to move inward. We do that by quieting the mind and focusing on the breath, always a part of any good yoga practice. And finally, the season of fall calls us to care for ourselves. What better way than to practice yoga? So let's set our intention during this practice on making yoga a part of our lives, hopefully our daily lives. And we'll start right here in mountain pose. So find all four corners of your feet. Imagine those four corners are rooting down firmly into the ground. Those feet also are about hip width distance apart. And as we root down firmly, we then lengthen through the spine. Let's roll those shoulders up and back and let them relax down. Soften your face. Close your eyes and quiet that mind. Start to focus on that breath, breathing through the nose, always inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So just keep that mouth gently closed. And as we inhale, we really want to fill up that low belly. And then on that exhale, you're pulling that belly button back to the spine. Nice full inhale through the nose, followed by that long exhale, also through the nose. Inhale, and sweep those arms up overhead. Grab onto the right wrist, and then arc over to the left, stretching out the right side body, keeping the body open to the long edge of the mat, and keeping the head and elbows close together. Inhale, center, grab onto the left wrist as we arc over to the right, stretching out the left side body. Inhale brings us back to center. Exhale releases those arms down. Just roll those shoulders up and back a few times. And let's roll out that neck a bit. So go ahead and drop the ear to one shoulder. And then start to gently roll that chin to the center. And then that ear to the opposite shoulder. Bringing that chin back to center. Ear over to the other shoulder. And as you breathe here, just inhale through half of the move. Exhale through the other half. Let's roll that neck out one more time on each side. Bring that head back to center. We're going to step to the top of our mat and do a mini sun salutation to come down to tabletop. If you'd like, before we move that direction, you could grab a few blocks. They might be handy for some of our postures. If you don't have blocks, a few hardbound books will do the trick. So coming to the front of that mat, feet are still hip width distance apart, fully grounded, nice straight spine. Leveling out that chin, we'll inhale, arms up, overhead, look up, reach up. Exhale as we bring those palms through to heart center, hinging and folding forward. Use that inhale to come halfway up, straight spine, palms on our shins. Exhale, fold forward again. Plant those palms. Step one foot back, then the other, and just come straight down to all fours or tabletop. Let's line some things up here. So knees and hips should be making a nice straight line. Our wrists and our shoulders, we can really spread out those fingertips. Push the tops of the feet into that mat. And let's move that spine with cat-cow. So as we inhale, we're going to lift the chin and drop that low belly. Exhale. Go ahead and round that mid-back and tuck that chin in the chest. Inhale is our lift of the chin and drop of the belly. Exhale, round that back up and tuck that chin in the chest. One more round of cat-cow. Bringing that spine back to neutral, making sure we're in alignment here. We'll do some bird dog, some balancing here. So bringing that balance into our life by doing some balance postures. So we'll start by stretching out through that right leg. It's coming right out behind us there. The back of the foot is pressing towards the wall behind you. Toes are facing down. Hip points are also facing down. Find that balance here first, and then we'll incorporate the left arm, reaching it out. And then we really create some length here by stretching, reaching for the wall in front of us with those fingertips, and the wall behind us with the sole of our foot. Couple more inhales and exhales here, finding balance. Next exhale with some control. Release that down. Reestablish that good alignment. Maybe pull up on that low belly a bit. Other side for our bird dog. Balancing out our sides now. So stretch out through that left leg. Again, the toes are pointing down. Both hip points are facing towards the mat. Find our balance here first. And then we can stretch out as well through that right arm. And then really create some length here. Reaching for the wall in front of you with your right fingertips. And the wall behind you with the sole of your left foot. Keep breathing through that nose. Next exhale, let's make it a nice slow release down. Gonna come to seated, so you can just swing those legs around. Do a seated twist here. Beginning with the left leg in front. Get a nice seat. Again, lengthen out through the full spine. Really create some space. Let those shoulders melt down. Level out that chin. And since our left leg is in front, we'll twist to the right. So use that inhale first to create more length in that spine. Exhale. Start to twist at the waist to the right. And then begin to turn that chin to look at that shoulder behind you. That right arm is your support. Left hand's coming across to that right knee. Imagine as you inhale, that spine is straightening. Exhale, we're moving just a bit more into that twist. Our twist is also great self-care. It's a wonderful way to detox the body. Next inhale, bring it back to center. We'll reverse the cross, so right foot in front. Come back to that nice, solid, rooted seat. Lengthening through all of the spine. Let those shoulders melt down. Level out that chin. Big inhale here to straighten out even more. Exhale. Let's move our twist to the left. Remembering to turn that chin to look over that shoulder. That right arm is coming across. As your lever, your left arm is behind you as your support. We inhale, straighten. Exhale, twist deeper. Caring for self as we detox the body. Use that inhale. Bring it back around to center. We'll come back to tabletop. And from our tabletop, we're just going to walk those hands out about a handprint. Tuck those toes under and find our plank position here. So plank, you don't want that bottom sticking up in the air. You want to bring it down, trying to build some strength here. Strength building. We're going to inhale and bring the right knee closer to our chest. Let's hold. 3, 2, 1. And then sit that right knee down by our right hand here. Straighten out through that left leg. The toes of the left foot can be curled or they can be flat on the mat. We're moving here into Pigeon. And Pigeon is working Right now, this right hip, you can have the knee more bent with the calf underneath, or you can bring that leg more parallel. And here's where those blocks might come in handy to create more extension for our arms. I'm going to try and keep those hip points facing forward. And you can leave that pigeon up, getting a little bit more low back bend here. If you want to increase the stretch in that right hip, you could come down and rest on forearms. And we'll hold here, whichever way you prefer. A couple more breaths in the pigeon. Bring that pigeon back up. If we've got some blocks, we can move those out of the way. Now we will tuck the back toes there. Push on back and find that plank again. Building that strength. Pull up on that low belly. Bring that bottom down. Now inhale, bring that left knee a little closer to the chest. We'll hold for 3, 2, 1. And then sit that left knee down closer to that left hand. Straightening out through the right leg. Bringing in those blocks or those books. Here they're creating some length for the arms, for me anyway. Trying to keep those hip points. So if you're coming up on your hip like that, you might want to change how that bent knee is, where the angle of that knee is. And again, if you keep that pigeon up, getting more of a low back bend. You want to increase the stretch in that left hip. You can bring those forearms down to the mat. And find the way that works for you. It's going to create that balance. Help you stay inward with a quiet mind. Focus on those ways of self-care. Come back up in that pigeon. Move those blocks out of the way. Tuck the back toes. This time we'll push up into our downward dog. And so downward dog, just imagine here that you're creating a triangle with your body. And just a little stretching and moving here in this first dog. We'll slowly walk our feet on up to our hands. And then we can take a minute to just hang here like a rag doll. Maybe grab onto elbows and sway a bit from side to side. And then we'll inhale, come up halfway again, placing those palms on your shins, straight back. Exhale, release and forward fold. As we inhale, sweep those arms out and up, look up, reach up. Bring those palms through the heart center. Full Sun Salutation. Inhale those arms up and around. Exhale, bring palms through the heart center, hinging and folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back, and then the other. Find our dog here. And then from dog, we'll come down easy. So come down to knees first. Flatten onto the tops of the feet. And then start to lower down, lowering everything on down to the mat, tops of feet, forehead, palms right at the middle of your chest, elbows bent, pulling back. And then we'll do an inhale, lifting head, neck, chest, and shoulders into a nice cobra. From cobra, tuck your toes and push back into our dog. From dog, inhale that right leg. Exhale, step it through in between our two hands here. Keep that knee, that right knee bent. Cartwheel those arms around. Left leg is straight with the outer edge parallel with the short edge of the mat. We'll tee those arms and find our warrior two. Let's move our warrior. So as we inhale, we're going to straighten that knee. Lift up through arrow straight arms and look up. Exhale, bend back into that right knee, looking over those right fingertips. Inhale, lift and straighten. Exhale, find that warrior. Inhale to lift and straighten. Exhale, find our warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, here's our warrior. Just drop those arms down. Unbend that knee. Start to step that back leg in. Gonna do our balance posture here, balancing on the right leg in one-legged mountain. Sometimes easier to place our hands on our hips here. So we'll find that balance first in mountain, and then bring some more weight into that right leg as we start to bend and lift the left knee. That knee is coming out from that hip there. Our soul is facing the mat. Easy to lean back a little, so try and keep the crown reaching for the sky. Breathe here as we balance. Whoop. And exhale, nice slow release down. Mini Sun Salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring those palms through to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back and then the other for our dog. And from dog, we'll inhale that left leg. Exhale, bring it on through here. Keep the left knee bent. Cartwheel those arms open. Our back leg here is straight with the outer edge facing the short edge of the mat. And then we turn to look towards the fingertips of that bent knee for warrior two. And then we'll move that warrior. So inhale, straighten the knee. Arrow straight arms, look up. Exhale, find that warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last inhale, lifting. lower down. And then release the arms. Release the bend of that knee. Step that right foot up to the front of the mat. Find our mountain. Maybe hands on hips. Bring more awareness to that left leg as we bend that right knee and lift that foot up. Finding our one-legged mountain, balancing on our left leg. Exhale, make it a nice slow release down. Moving right into that full sun. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring those palms through to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back and then the other for our dog. And then lower those knees down, tops of feet. Bringing the rest of the body all the way down to the mat. Inhaling head, neck, chest, and shoulders into Cobra. From Cobra, tuck those toes, push back into Dog. And we'll inhale that right leg up. Exhale, step it on through. Keep that knee bent. We're going to come onto the balls of our feet of that left leg. Maybe find our balance here first in our low or high lunge rather. And then you can lift up through arrow straight arms. And we'll also move our lunge. So on an inhale, start to straighten that knee and then cactus those arms. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale's our lift. Exhale, coming back to our high lunge. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Bring those palms to heart center. Start to walk that back leg in. We're going to find our tree now. So balancing on the right leg, bending that left knee out to the side. Our toes can be resting by our ankle or up at the calf. Pulling in here, pulling in that hip, pushing it into the sole of the foot there. Palms at heart center. We're growing that tree. Exhale, start to release the arms. And then everything together. Mini sun. Inhale up. Exhale, bring it through. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back and then the other. Here's our dog. Inhale that left leg. Exhale it through. Keeping that left knee bent. We're going to come up on the balls of the foot of our right foot there. Find your balance first in our high lunge. And you can lift up through arrow straight arms. Now let's move. So inhale, straighten and cactus those arms. Exhale, lift and bend back into that left knee. Inhale's our lift. Exhale's our lower. tree pose, balancing on the left leg. And toes could be at the ankle or at the calf. Pull that left hip in, push it into the sole of that foot. Find your best expression of this tree. As we release, exhale those arms down first, and release it all together. One last sun salutation. Inhale, lift. Exhale, palms to heart center, hinging and folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step one foot back, and the other. Here's our dog. Bring those knees down, tops of feet, and lower everything to the mat. And lifting head, neck, chest, shoulders on that inhale. Tuck your toes from the cobra. Push back to dog. And then from dog, come back down to all fours. And we'll find a seat with our legs straight out in front of us. I think I'll turn this way. So we're going to do a seated forward extension. So in an extension, our back is going to stay straight instead of curving and rounding. We'll try one leg at a time here. So to start, we'll bring that right knee in and out to the side, keeping that left leg nice and straight. Toes pointing up. First, straighten out that spine, let that chin level. Keeping that spine straight, just gently start to walk the fingertips forward. Find a little edge here. If that chin is tilting up, level it out. Remember, we're not rounding. We want to keep that back, that spine straight. So our goal isn't necessarily to bring the front of the body down to the leg. We're just making an extension in the back. Inhale, walk those fingertips in. Straighten out that right leg, maybe shake her out. Bring in that right knee. Engage through the left leg. And really straighten out through that spine. Let that chin level. And then we just start to walk through those fingertips. The minute you start to feel a rounding, take it back a few. This is a forward extension as opposed to a forward fold. In the fold, it's okay to round the back. Extension, you want to keep the spine nice and straight. Walk it back, straighten out that left leg, shake it out if you like. We're going to come onto our backs, keeping our knees bent and the soles of the feet on the mat, preparing for bridge. So for bridge, we want our arms nice and tight in at our sides. Walk the heels up as close to your bottom as you can get them. Maybe a little Tuck of that chin. Don't move that head from side to side in the bridge. And then on an inhale, just start to lift the hips. Low back, mid back. Usually we end that bridge right at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Keeping those knees tight together. Start to press through the heels and up with the hips. Next, exhale, very intentionally, coming down almost one vertebra at a time. Release the bridge. When your hips are on the mat, bring those arms up and overhead. And then with the knees together, let's bring them to one side. And then other. Just a little windshield wiper motion with our knees. Bring those knees back to center, our arms back down to our side. We'll do one more bridge here. Maybe get those heels a little closer to the bottom. Tuck that chin. And then inhale starts to lift the hips. Low, mid back. Finishing right there at the bottom of the shoulder blades and then pushing through the heels and up through the hips. Again, we'll make that release very intentional, very slow, one vertebra at a time. Once the hips are on the mat, bring those arms up, overhead again. And then windshield wiper. Those knees, dropping them together from one side to the other. Bring those knees back to center. We're going to keep the arms up overhead, but make them look more like the top of a big letter X. And then we're going to straighten those legs out, and they'll become the bottom of a giant letter X. So now imagine that your body, you're laying with the back side of everything on that mat, is at the crossroads of summer and fall, fall and winter. So fall calls us to balance, to move inward, and to care for self. Welcome to stay in our giant X, or you can bring those arms down a comfortable distance from your sides. Legs can stay wide or any amount, right? Take up as much or as little space here in Shavasana, or that giant letter X as you'd like. I invite you to always stay in your Shavasana for as long as you can keep the mind quiet and conscious. When you're ready to release, it's good to wiggle finger and toe tips. Maybe stretch out through our fingers and our toes. And then I like to bring palms to heart center, the soles of the feet together, rubbing them to create some heat grounding. And then bring those warm palms to your eyes. Slowly opening your eyes in those palms. Releasing those down. You can roll to one side or the other. Or give that spine a nice little massage. A few rocky rolls. Coming back to our easy seated pose. Bringing palms to heart center. Namaste.